this weekend we were treated to the first of a few upcoming experimental modes, Limit 2. If you didn't get the chance to play this mode, or simply just don't know what it is, Limit 2 adds a rule to OpenQ where you can only have a maximum of 2 of the same role, meaning you physically can't run into stacks of something stupid like 5 tanks or weird team comps like that. In this video I'm going to talk all about what I liked and disliked about it, as even though I think it made OpenQ a lot more enjoyable, I have my gripes with it. Granted, these might just be a me problem and something that other players like yourself, the viewer, didn't run into. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm gonna ask you to subscribe, as I want to keep making Overwatch 2 related content that isn't only entertaining, but informative too. Now, let's break down the pros and cons of this experimental game mode. I'll start with the cons because A, there aren't actually that many, and B, I find it's always better to end on a positive. The main con is that even though you're in OpenQ, you sometimes find yourself getting shoehorned into playing a specific role. Generally speaking, I got shoehorned into playing support, which I don't mind considering I've been playing mostly support for like, what, 8 years at this point? That's scary. I don't like that thought. But it's kind of annoying when I hop into an OpenQ lobby hoping to play DPS and chill and then get forced to bust my ass off playing solo support, because no one else wants to do it. On both of the times that I actually got to play tank, we had someone who wanted to play DPS, lock Moira, and just flat out refused to heal because they didn't get their own way. And that's unfortunately the true nature of this game mode. People are purposely throwing the matches when they don't get to play a specific hero because they're getting shoehorned into playing a role that they don't want to play, kinda defeating the entire purpose of OpenQ's existence. Obviously, someone always has to play support to help the team make progress, but locking them to that role makes them bitter and causes them to throw out of spite. I know this isn't really something that Blizzard can fix because it's entirely out of their control, but we can. What I want you to do is report whoever was throwing and, nah, it's not that deep. Best thing we can do is just avoid the player and go next. It's unfortunate, but you know, it happens. The only other con I have is that, like all of the other experimental game modes, we didn't get any special rewards for playing it. This is a gripe I've had with the experimental modes for a little while, but it's nothing major. It'd just be nice to get something to commemorate the fact that we've played these game modes. Something small like a player icon, kinda like the ones you'd get for playing comp versions of specific game modes in the original Overwatch, like competitive Capture the Flag or Copa Lucio Ball. It's hardly a problem as such, it's just something I'd like to see added to experimental modes to make them a bit more worth playing. Now, the pros. Literally everything else, in all fairness. Limit 2 single-handedly added balance to OpenQ because, as I mentioned before, you're not getting stupid matchups like 5 tanks versus 5 supports. It's given us a taste of what double tank is going to be like next season with 6v6 returning for a short period, which is great because it means we can experiment with team comps. Granted, one role will be down a player, but it's manageable. People were getting really creative, toying around with stuff like Ramattra, Reinhardt, and Lucio as a big rush unit, and Winston, Diva, Juno as a big dive unit. Was it annoying to play against? At times, yes, but that's kind of what made it fun. It was challenging because we're not used to playing like this with these team comps, but the more we played, the more manageable it became because we simply got used to it. There was a slight learning curve surrounding a game mode, something that we rarely see as veteran players, which made the game enjoyable because it was so satisfying once we got the hang of it. It felt like the original rush we got when we first played Overwatch. It was weird, but it was good. But that just about does it for this video. TLDR, the mode was good and very enjoyable. It made OpenQ a lot more balanced, but sometimes kind of shoehorned you into playing a specific role, which wasn't too bad if you knew what to do in that situation. Take this match in the background, for example. I was the only support on the team for a little while, but I knew who to play and how to play. It spiced things up a little bit, which I enjoyed. It only made me more excited for Kingmaker, a mode that's expanding on the idea of Limit 2, coming later this season, which I talked about in the 6v6 video the other week, so if you missed that, definitely go and give that a watch. I go a bit more in detail about it there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Let me know how you found Limit 2 in the comments. I feel like most people enjoyed it, but I like hearing you guys' opinion regardless. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.